You know, when you watch the London Marathon and you see the runners get to the final straight, they're knackered, they're injured, and yet they've got the determination to get themselves over the line and complete the job. That's exactly how I feel about Mansfield Town at the moment. All we've got to do is limp the last 2 yards. Granted, we shouldn't need to limp at all because we should have got the job done over the last 2 games. However, defeat at Wigan put pay to that, and then a goalless draw at Leyton Orient on Tuesday too. However, we've still got plenty of games to play and mathematically only need 2 more points to secure safety. Although, that said, if we lose Saturday and Exeter also lose, we're also safe. So, to be honest, I'm going to throw pessimistic Craig out of the window and say that, quietly, we're safe. Join us to discuss all of that and much, much more on tonight's Mansfield Matters podcast on the show for the fans, by the fans. We'll talk goalkeepers, we'll talk matching last season's records, we'll talk maybe breaking next season's records. Oh, and we'll put our candidates forward for the Mansfield Matters End of Season Awards. Get involved in live stream chat now and come and have your say on your team. Pessimistic Craig is no more. Optimistic Craig is here. Yes, you should all be fearful. Very, very fearful. Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whenever it is you're watching or listening to this. If you're watching the live version of this, it's good evening. It's 20 minutes to 8 on a Thursday night, and what better way to spend your Thursday evening by talking about all things Mansfield Town. This is the Mansfield Matters podcast, the show for the fans, by the fans. Why? Because League One matters. We are this close, so close to being mathematically secure, and if results go our way on Saturday, we'll be able to put our feet up after the end of the Luton game and look ahead to next season. Although I can already see on my screen everyone's little cameras, and as soon as I said put our feet up, Jim gave me this real look like he was shooting daggers at me. There's no such thing as putting your feet up when Jim's around. Let's say hello then, good evening and welcome to all of our Mansfield Matters podcast panellists tonight. Well, let's start with the man who will forbid anybody in for putting their feet up. Good evening, Jim, who has his feet up.
Evening, Craig. Evening, everybody. No, my feet are firmly on the floor, mate. Don't worry about
that. Well, let's go ahead over to Edwin Stone. There's a strong danger that this guy could have his feet up. He could be curled in an armchair, doing a little jigsaw. No, in fact, he's at his kitchen table again, ready to talk all things Mansfield Town. Good evening, Mr. Cleve.
Good evening, Craig. Hello, everybody.
I do think one of these days, Clive, we will cut to your camera and you will be in a chair in the living room with your feet up with a blanket around you.
I would, but the dog's occupied that seat.
Yeah, I feel your pain. Don't worry, I feel your pain. Let's head over then to Shirts HQ, who added a new shirt thanks to Mr. Cleve the other week. I don't think there's been any shirts since, so let's say hello, good evening, and find out by heading to Mansfield Town Shirts HQ with Nick. Good evening.
Hello. No more shirts. Unfortunately, I found a new way of that. Unfortunately, that Panini decided to release a set of football cards that you can now buy. So, unfortunately, my when I like to find ways of spending my money on anything with a Mansfield badge on it, I'm buying them as well now. So, no new shirts, but random cards. How about that?
Are we about to do a Mansfield Town Shirts rebrand and become Mansfield Town Cards?
Maybe. Yeah, who knows? Maybe we're going to get bored of shirts. I'll go into cards instead.
Yeah, just don't do a YouTube thing ranking them because we know how that ended last time. I swear that. Before we go to our final guest tonight, were you chased around Wigan by the pie mascot after your ratings on them?
I mean, to be fair, I put him pretty high. It was mainly Bolton fans, I thought, who didn't like me for the ranking. But the pie was great. I had a photo with the pie, and the guy with the Sky camera thing outside said he wanted to film me with the pie. So I did a bit of a pie camera thing. I think he's a great mascot. He's great. The pie was nice as well. Not him, obviously, but
and Mansfield Matters podcast do not condone cannibalism. because Nick categorically did not eat a pie mascot. He ate an actual pie from the Wigan kiosk. Right, let's go from one place which has got no new shirts to a place just outside Stockport, which has got a new Mansfield Town shirt this week. She's back consecutive weeks. She's made more appearances this season than Cam, and thankfully that's a blessing. Good evening, Emily, of Her Game 2 fame.
Good evening, Craig. Good evening, everybody.
It's good to see you as always. Now, I mentioned there in your little intro that Nick hasn't got a new shirt this week, but you have, and you messaged me earlier today and you said, Craig, I've got another game for the podcast. It's a quick warm-up game. Take it away.
Okay, so I've got a new shirt. It's from the Doncaster game last week. I put in a cheeky little bid, not thinking I'd get it, and I did, because nobody else bid after me. So I have got a new shirt, and you all have to guess who it's from, like which player. So that's all I'm giving you at the moment.
Matt Green.
Okay, right. So, Jim, have a guess. Who's the player?
Reece Oates.
Clive, who's the player?
Regan Hendry.
Nick.
Going on the fact that no one else bid for it, Elliot Hewitt.
Going on the fact that no one else bid for it, Oliver Iro.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it wasn't that bad, Craig. It is.
They weren't giving it away. It wasn't free.
Elliot Hewitt's shirt. So well done, Nick. And Rowan is made up with the shirt and can't wait for me to go and buy a cheap IKEA frame to stick it in next weekend. So that's what I will do.
Well, if you need framing service, I do believe that Kitman Kieran Cap also does shirt framing. So give him a shout. I know, Nick, have you had one or two off him?
No, I haven't, but I've seen other people have, and he seems to have done a good job. He used to share them on the old, was it Tiki Toki or whatever he was sharing them on? But yeah, I think he still does them as far as I'm aware. But
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's KC shirt framing. I think if anyone knows, drop it in the comments, and there you go. Give a bit of business to the kit man. Right, let's turn our attention to all things football, shall we? As always, come and have your say on your team in the live feed comments. We have got lots to talk about tonight. We're going to very quickly recap Wigan and Leyton Orient. Then we're going to move on and talk about some of the out of contract players. We're going to look at a few of the permutations for Saturday, which is quite simple. Just it doesn't matter as long as Exeter don't win, it's fine. And we're going to look ahead to we're going to do a little bit of a look at comparisons between last season and this season, as we've now reached last season's points total with plenty of games still to play. Then we're going to talk about the community day on Saturday, and we're going to do something very special. We're going to get our suit jackets out of the cupboard again. The penguin jackets are going to come out. The bow ties are ready because we're all off to the MMPAs. What are the MMPAs, I hear you ask? Well, obviously, it's the Mansfield Matters Podcast Awards. And yes, that did take me 3 seconds to think about. And yes, I have made a jingle for it. Right. Nick, take it away.
I've got
go on, Clive.
Sorry, can I interrupt? I've got a jingle already for you.
No, go on.
Umpa, stick it up your jumper.
That's far better than mine. That's so annoying. I did proper production on mine as well. So annoying. Anyway, Nick, Wigan, let's start with you. We've already established you nearly committed cannibalism. Anthony Nunez's debut, though, that was a bit of a wild card in the team selection, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think when we talked about it on the podcast and said Harry Lewis's baby was literally expected like now, I think I should have known, but it didn't then twig in my brain until we got there and I saw the group chat message saying Nunez was playing. I was like, oh, didn't even think about that. He did okay. He did all right. I don't think you wouldn't have looked at it and gone, he was playing for Anthony Nomads the week before against, the Dog and Duck. So he didn't look massively out of place. One thing that did strike me is how small he is, bless him. When he was warming up in the goal, I was like, oh my word, he is small. But I thought he did okay. The penalty is the penalty. I think that the first goal, I don't know, maybe Roberts comes out a bit quicker, but it was his first game. I thought his kicking was good. He was good on the ball. I thought he did a sterling job for a man of a very young age, being thrust in. 2 weeks ago, he wouldn't have dreamed of playing this season. I don't think anybody else would. So to have that opportunity and to not disgrace yourself, I thought he did a good job.
Jim, one thing Nigel Clough was critical of at the full-time whistle in his post-match interview was that the back five, back four, back three, whatever number you want to throw at it, didn't give him enough protection. Was that a view you shared?
Well, I think it's probably splitting hairs. I mean, they've had a good season, haven't they? The back four, back five. But I think, to me, I think it was more he was guarding against players checking out. I mean,
Talking of checking out, he's gone.
Yeah. What an ironic
great
the
timing.
picture's gone.
We can still hear you, though.
Yeah, I think it's they did have a great game, and I think it was Clough's. He's probably worried that some of them have checked out, like we've been talking about this week, and I think some of them perhaps they had them a bit. I think you still hear me.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on here now.
We can. You might want to just log off and log back in again, Jim, and then it should pick it back up again. Okay. So we'll get back to you in a second. Clive, just pick up on Jim's point there. You know, it was a typical Nigel Clough comment, was it? Because to be fair, he wasn't wrong. We made a little bit of a sloppy error, and we almost repeated what we did last season against them at times as well.
Yeah, one thing that's clear this season is when we make errors, and we aren't making many of them, but we get punished by them. Yeah, and I don't know what that says, but I mean, the reality is we weren't hopeless. Whether we were clocking out, to use someone else's phrase, I'm not sure. I wasn't close enough to the action to judge that. But there's an element of fatigue there. I think that's the problem. And maybe they have psychologically think they've swum to the shore. Well, let's hope they're right.
Emily, you were a bit closer to the action than Clive and I. You were in the stands along with Nick. What did you make of the performance overall? Because frustrating, I think, for me.
Yeah, I didn't think we were that bad, and I didn't think that Wigan were that good either. I thought a draw would have been a fair outcome, to be honest. And they got the penalty, and I just thought really it was just down to our defence or a particular defender just making a couple of drastic mistakes, and it was a shame really, but on the whole I really didn't think that they got forward enough and made enough chances. I really didn't feel they did, and it was nothing to do with Nunes at all. Like he didn't really do anything wrong. I thought his kicking was excellent. Actually, I didn't have an issue with him at all. I found him to be, he didn't look nervous, and just not looking nervous, I thought was a real kind of achievement for him for what he was doing that day. And he looked so small in the lineup, when they were lining up to come out, and I was like, oh, he's so tiny for a goalkeeper, but just a little kid, really, isn't he? So yeah, I didn't think he did anything wrong, and I thought on the whole, we weren't like drastically disappointed with the result. We'd had quite a nice day out, and you can always see really well at Wigan. It's a great view of the game. So yeah, it was.
I think the thing is with Nunes, Jim. I'll come back to you now that you've plugged yourself back into the General Electric board and put 50p in the meter. It was one of those things, wasn't it, where you couldn't. It was a bit of bad luck in the end. I think Clough actually said that Harry Lewis's partner actually gave birth on the Sunday, so he could have played. But again, it highlights Clough's commitment to putting family first. I believe Owen Mason was actually injured, hence why he didn't get recalled from Southend. And it's one of those things, isn't it? You're going to get your opportunity at some point. And in the grand scheme of things, it's not like we're in the bottom four fighting for our lives. We've got enough defenders to get round him and protect him. And I thought actually what he did quite well. And it bodes well for the future. It's clear he needs development, but it's good to see the opportunity given to him rather than going, ER Jordan, ER Will, ER Oatsy, go and have a go.
Oh, definitely. I mean, this whole thing about when Clough would put a goalkeeper on the bench, or because Rhys Oates will do it, I've never been on board with that. I'd sooner Nunes do it than Rhys Oates or somebody like that. So yeah, he didn't disgrace himself. Fantastic experience for him. He'd have learnt a lot. And I think the goalkeeping contingent within the club from the youth setup was very, very good, isn't it? Him and Mason. So fair play to him. Would have done him the world of good, and hopefully we'll see him again. And fair play to. I pick up on that point said about Clough. He's quite happy to let players miss games for births and stuff like that. If you give it to one, you've got to give it to all of them, haven't you? Even if it is in a position that you need on the pitch. But it turned out all right, even though we didn't get a win. But yeah, there we are.
I mean, I don't see him going back out on loan now, Clive, either. So he'll spend the rest of the season with us. And I think once we actually get to safety, it wouldn't surprise me actually to see him giving another run out, to be honest, and everyone get a bit of a game. Because I was having this conversation with someone on Tuesday night. I was having this conversation with my dad. There's no point rushing back Liam Roberts for the sake of rushing him back.
Well, what's the situation with the number 2?
Harry Lewis?
Yeah. Is he...
He's back now, isn't he?
He had
Yeah, he played
compassionate
Tuesday.
leave for his child. Presumably, he's now back in the frame.
Yeah, he played Tuesday.
Yeah.
He played Tuesday.
He was back in Tuesday,
Right. So he's likely to start then on Saturday, you'd have thought.
yeah.
Yeah,
And what's the state of the injury with number 1?
back before the end of the season, isn't he? They said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
I'm just not sure whether I'd risk him for the sake of risking him. We've seen that. We've no need to really. It's not like we need to. It's not like we 5th from bottom and we're only 1 point adrift.
No, I think if we can get the result we're looking for over the weekend, then you can be more casual about these things, I guess. Having said that, we want to finish up as high in this league as we can because positions add money to the payback. But we are lucky in the goalkeeping department. I looked at Nunez's game and I thought he wasn't culpable for the goals. He was completely bamboozled by the penalty, but the more senior keepers would be as well. But as I said earlier, it doesn't take many mistakes at this level to get punished, and that's exactly what's happened.
No, exactly that. And
But I think Jim picked on the point. Are they clocking out? I'm not sure. I think there's possibly a possibility of that, but I also thought they looked a bit tired.
well, speaking of clocking out, Jim, they did a little bit at Leighton Orient in the last 5 minutes or so in extra time. We just knocked the ball between our 3 centre backs. It was akin to when we played Forest Green at home on the last game of the playoff season. They were up. They were champions. We'd got in the playoffs. Neither side needed to go for it, and it was running down the game. And to be honest, I haven't actually got a problem with it. It was a solid point, a good clean sheet, a solid point. Arguably should have won it. We had a couple of chances, but I'd take a point against Leighton Orient. We never do well against them at their place.
We usually get nothing there, don't we? So I thought it was a brilliant clean sheet and a good point, and I was quite satisfied with it. I mean, that's aside from the whole when teams sort of both agree to knock it about, like against Forest Green a few years ago. I'm not too keen on that from the point of view. It's almost match fixing, and is it fair on the integrity of the competition and the teams around you? Probably not, and I think teams need to be careful of that. But I mean, that aside, yeah, really good point. And I know when we were talking about have players checked out, that game, that was heartening, I thought, because it's to keep a clean sheet there makes you think, well, actually, no, the heads are still in it. As like I said, Clough would have been into them, I'd have thought, over the last week, and it sort of allayed my fears around that.
And I think it does make a bit of a difference, Nick, as well, when you see players like Tyler Roberts and Joe Gardner coming in as well. Tyler Roberts, I felt a little bit at Leighton Orient was ineffective, but I think that was more down to where he was on the pitch. He was playing as the out-and-out centre-forward. I think he's much better in the 10, but it does lift our performance. And Joe Gardner's a breath of fresh air. We're so unlucky to not have seen him as, much more than what we have done this season, actually.
Yeah, Roberts was the same on Saturday at Wigan. I thought he lifted us again when he came on, and he did in the previous home game. I think he's not a striker, is he? We tried it with Keeler Dunn a few times up front. It's not the right thing to do. He's a player off the striker sort. He needs a full guy, doesn't he? He needs someone else to drag the defenders out the space. You don't want 3 centre halves trying to mark him. And Gardner, I think we should try and get him next season on loan. I don't know what his contract situation is at Forest, but I think we should definitely try and get him on loan for another season. He's definitely worth it. We don't have a lot of raw pace, do we? Out and out pace. And I think apart from the obvious Oates, I think Gardner offers that, and he's got quite quality. He's quite direct. And I think when you compare him to Iro, they're like chalk and cheese. The way Iro started and the way Gardner started, you'd have absolutely said Iro would have been the better player. But there's no chance now that you'd rather have Iro over Gardner. I'd certainly look at Gardner for next season. But Robert's just about fitness. But then the thing that bothers me slightly is if he was fit, he wouldn't be playing for Mansfield. So I don't know where I sit on the whole Roberts fitness debacle. Because if he was perfectly fit and playing 90, he will not be playing for Mansfield next season.
Well, that's something we're going to.
Do we need a bit of
on a little bit later?
A bit of rustiness for a few months, and then makes other clubs go, oh, we can't really do 90, and then we snap him up and we get the best out of him. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, so certainly an interesting one. Another player I want to focus on from Tuesday, Emily, is that of Ryan Sweeney. I felt he showcased what his impact is, especially on set pieces in both boxes. We lack that when he's not playing. It becomes apparent sometimes. We obviously tried to play the direct game on Tuesday, played for throw-ins down either side, launched a couple of long-ish ones into the area. Lucas got a couple in. I think John Russell had a go at it at one point, and it nearly paid off. Sweeney had a nice little looping back header, which came very close to dropping in. I think he gets better and better and does give us that bit of lift from set pieces.
Yeah, there was quite a few chances, weren't there, on Tuesday, and we just didn't put them away. And it really surprised me that, because like you were saying, we don't get much at Leighton Orient, so I was cheered to see that, but didn't really go anywhere. But yeah, I've kind of got I hate to say this, but like a love-hate relationship with Ryan Sweeney. It's almost like he does something really annoying and really poor, and then does something spectacular to make up for it. He's one of those players that he makes mistakes, but you don't mind so much because he tends to make up for it afterwards. And getting him in the box, obviously, for headers and set pieces is a great thing to do if we can do it. If he's able to come forwards for a corner or whatever. So it's good to have him there, and I do think he is a good captain, actually, despite what I said at the beginning of the season. I think he's a decent captain, and I think the others really respect him. So yeah, he can stay.
Well, maybe he'll get a nomination in our new category in the MMPAs later in the show. We'll talk about that later on. As ever, get your comments coming in. Have your say on your team. Marie says, "What size is the shirt?" I think she was trying to guess which one it was. I'm going to say if it was Elliot Hewitt's, I'm going to say I'm going to say large, maybe XL. He's a bulky figure. He's a lanky lad, isn't he? I don't think it needs to be large, around the middle. I think it just needs to.
I'd go medium.
He looks
a medium all day long. He's a medium all day
medium,
long.
Yeah.
I'm a medium. What?
I was told by Clive that these shirts. I think it was Clive. Someone told me that the shirts are quite small, and I don't know whether you've noticed, but I have lost a lot of weight. So I got a new shirt this season, and I got a medium, and it's massive. It's absolutely huge. So yeah, I think a medium is actually quite big, but Macca's is a small.
Emily, what I did say is when I bought my club shirt at the beginning of the season, it was clear then you needed to buy a size bigger than you would normally do compared to the Castore version.
Oh right, well,
I hover between normally large and extra large, and I've lost weight as well, and I now buy medium, but I wouldn't buy a medium in this present supplier because it's too tight, and I'm not a pretty sight.
I found Castore absolutely tiny, and I'm finding area really, really big.
Well,
but
that's weird.
It might be the 5.5 stone that I've lost it.
Congratulations. I find the Castore ones I just found a little bit too long, like size-wise, they're all right, but they're just too long. Anyway, let's not get bogged down into talking shirts, because somebody on this podcast panel will be going, "Hey, that's my content. I use that on my YouTube channel."
I've not done that yet. I've not done a how long is the shirt yet. I've done that.
It's a great feature. We should do it. We should maybe do it.
Where does the shirt end? Just zoom down. Oh, there it goes. Next one.
Keep your comments coming in. Have your say on your team. Where did I get to? Susan says Nunes has a right good kick on him. Marie says first half at Wigan, only 2 back passes to Nunes. Second half back to the usual tip tap about at the back, and we got caught out. Get the flipping ball up the pitch. Still wish we'd leave a player on the halfway line, says Mark. Marie agrees, because we did against Arsenal, and it was just because it was against Arsenal. Nearly worked a few times, to be fair. And Chris says it's because they are an Italian designer now, and all Italian clothes are small. I don't know, unless it's Italian clothes in Tesco. I couldn't tell you. Anyway, let's move on, shall we, and talk about Saturday and actually securing safety in League One, because it's quite a simple concept. Although I'm going to overcomplicate it because I always do. At the moment, as it stands, Nick, have I spelled Exeter right this week?
Yeah, let me just see if you wrote it anywhere else. Yeah, it's twice. It's written down there. That's correct.
No, you just got the date wrong this week, didn't you?
Yeah, you're all right. Yeah, I'll take that. I'm up with that.
Look,
I'll keep reading as you're going. Don't worry.
This is the Mansfield Matters podcast. I'm either going to A, spell something wrong, or B, get the date wrong. Like I'm not perfect. There's a reason this is a League One non-award winning podcast. All right. I don't need you coming on here and going, Craig, this is wrong. That's how we become unfriends. All right.
You've done it now. You've pushed him over the edge.
Of course, I'm joking. Stags, of course, then at the moment, +7 goal difference, 54 points on boards, 15 points still to play for. Exeter, who occupy the fourth relegation spot, of course, every other team below them. Can't catch us, of course, Northampton and Rotherham, already relegated to League Two. Port Vale can't be too far behind them either, although they have still got plenty of games to play. Exeter then 47 points on the board at the moment, 7 points left to play for, with points gap of 7 as well. Exeter need to win at their final 3 games and hope that we don't pick up more than 2 points and overturn a 14-goal swing. Stags against Luton on Saturday. If we win, we're safe regardless of the Exeter result. Draw, we're safe as long as Exeter do not beat Stockport. And if we lose, we're safe as long as Exeter also lose. So it's quite simple. Get Saturday out of the way. And this time next week, Clive, we can do what Jim hates and put your feet up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm confident because I've had a word with my friends at the Scarf Begara War, the illustrious podcast at Stockport County. We get on famously, and they're going to do us a favour. They're going to beat us. I'll come to that in a second, but they're also going to take Exeter off for us. So come the weekend, we're sound, and we'll owe it down. We'll owe it to some extent to Stockport.
And there's no worries there at all, Jim, is there? I mean, you look at the goal difference, far superior. It would take a catastrophic turn of events.
No, it would. I mean, when you watch football long enough, strange things do happen. We've also, I remember Bristol Rovers at Scunthorpe. Well, Scunthorpe at Bristol Rovers, I think it was. Yeah, when Man United chased down that Newcastle lead and stuff like that. Strange things do happen. But to be honest with you, after we got that point against Leyton Orient, I felt within me after that, yeah, we're all right now. I just think I can't, even if Exeter win on Saturday, they've got Burton after that, and then they got Bradford. So we all know Burton's a pig of a game, and Bradford are another top 6 team like Stockport. So can I see Exeter winning all those 3 games? No, I can't. And I can't see us getting less than 2 points over 5 games. So I think you've not done it till you've done it, but I'm not worried now. And I'm like you, Craig. I'm very much, you don't relax till the maths say so, but I'm confident now. I do feel quite at ease now.
I think one thing, Nick, is the fact that we have got the games in hand as well. I think if we were going toe-to-toe in terms of like both having 3 games left, I'd be a little bit more concerned because there's not a lot of margin for error. But because we've got that extra couple of games, that just gives us that bit more of an option, doesn't it? A bit more breathing space, a bit more comfort, if you like.
Yeah, I think what we also forget is below us are 7 other teams. So not only do Exeter have to win all their games, Wimbledon, I mean, if you've seen Wimbledon's form, I do not think Exeter will be going down. I think it's going to be Wimbledon because Exeter are 3 points off Wimbledon. I think the goal difference is just there or thereabouts. They're about the same. Wimbledon haven't won in 7, something like that, if not more. And Exeter are in okay-ish form at the minute. I've got a feeling Wimbledon are the team to worry. They lost again in the week. So all those 7 teams have got to overtake us. We're not going to go from 12th to 21st in the space of the equivalent of 3 games with better goal. It's not going to happen, is it? But I'd be more nervous if we hadn't have won that Donny game. You take 3 points off us, and all of a sudden it's a bit more nervy. And I would understand absolutely at that point we'd be a bit more nervy. But yeah, I'm pretty confident we'll be okay. But I don't think necessarily it'll be Exeter who go down. I've got a feeling Wimbledon might be the 4th team to go down.
Yeah, certainly be interesting.
As long as it's not us, I'm not bothered.
No, and Port Vale are, I think Port Vale are probably down, but they've got enough games left if they get a bit of momentum to maybe
They've got
claw
to win
the way
them
out
all,
of it.
haven't they?
But they've got to win them all, which is a
Yeah.
big ask, especially when they're playing basically Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Tuesday, Thursday to catch up.
Yeah.
That is a huge ask for any team. So, yeah, it's certainly an interesting one. And I think it just highlights how important that Easter weekend was for us. Let's talk then about the progress we've made from last season, because we've still got 5 or 6 games still to go in League One this season. We've now matched our points tally from last season. We finished in 17th place last year, a reminder, with 54 points, 15 games won, 9 drawn, 22 lost, scored 60, conceded 73, and finished therefore on a minus goal difference. This season, we're doing pretty much better in the stakes of the goal difference. 14th place, I think, as it stands at the minute, 54 points on the board. Still got games to go, 5 games left to go, 2 at home, 3 away. 13 wins, 15 draws, 13 defeats. Not scored as many as last season as yet, and conceded 20 less at this stage. So in terms of making progress, Emily, you're looking at the stats there on screen. It is very much positive, and I think with the 5 games we've still got to go, we can probably improve a little bit more on last season and potentially look to maybe get to that 60-point mark. That'd be a great achievement, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And looking at those stats, actually, that's really good to see it like that in direct comparison. Makes you realise that it has been a better season than last season, and we're doing all right, aren't we? I think we do think we've got a slightly tougher run in, last few games than we had last year, but we'll see how that goes. And I just think it depends, like, how Stockport are feeling on Tuesday. I know they've got some injuries, haven't they, from the Virtue Trophy final? Haven't they got a bad injury to a defender and things like that? And they're quite tired because they've got a few extra games and things to play, or they have had. So it just depends, really, doesn't it, how Luton, Stockport are playing? Considering their recent, they've been busy recently. But so have we. So, and we are looking tired. We're looking a little bit tired, so it would be nice to see some more pace injected into the side like Gardner did the other night. It's nice to see that. I thought he played really well at, I think it was Bradford where he played a lot of the game. Was it Bradford? I thought he was quite good there as well, Gardner. So maybe we can utilise his pace up front because he's not as tired as everybody else.
Jim, looking at that as well, I know you can't see it as well as everyone else because you're using a smaller device to everyone else, but in terms of how we've made improvements, you look at that same amount of wins at home at the minute, yet we've still got 2 to play, so we can beat that. We only drew 4 at home last year, losing 11. We've drawn 7 at home this year and lost just 6. We are becoming harder to beat, which is a big priority. And you look at what Nigel Clough said. I watched it back, actually, at the end of last season before the Birmingham game. He said we have to improve defensively, and I think we've clearly done that by the fact that we're not losing as many games. We're becoming harder to beat.
Yeah, that's what this season's been built on, hasn't it? We're where we are pretty much safe because of that defence. And I think when you look at it, the players that cost the most money are the strikers, aren't they? They're a good striker at this level. The going rate's about £1 million, which we're not going to pay. So it's like, all right, then, well, we'll make our sort of advantage off the ball, and he's done that. And what we'd have lost last year, we're now drawing. I mean, like Tuesday night, we'd have lost last year. I've no doubt about it. The Burton game we'd have lost last year. Just games like that, and it's the right way round. If you to be honest with you, you shut the back door first, and you build from there. And he's promised this summer we're going to have goals, and it bodes well for next season if we build on what we've already got. Next season we could be really competitive in it, right? In and around it, sort of like our Stevenage are playing slightly better football, obviously. But it's been satisfying from that point of view. I thought we'd be a little bit higher than we have, but it is progress. It is definitely progress. We are more solid.
I think with how tight it is as well, Nick, there's 2 ways you can look at it. You can look at it in the positive way of going, look, well, we've become harder to beat. We've dug our foot in. We've got safe earlier than what we did last season. And realistically, over the last 2 months or so, we've not really had too many headaches or moments where we felt we might drop here, like we definitely did last season. But on the flip side of that, you look and you think, well, if we had a decent striker and we had a bit more ruthlessness in front of goal, we could have been pushing for a playoff space, given how tight the league is.
Yeah, we could have, but I think if you look above us and I think Jim's made a really good point there about striker costs. Look at the amount of money teams above us have paid for players. Luton Town, Huddersfield have paid millions for players. Wickham have, are spending millions. Other than maybe Stevenage and potentially Lincoln, all the teams above us have spent a hell of a lot more money than we have got. And I think that's what comes down to it. And 12th last year, if we finished 12th, 13th, whatever, I'd have snapped your hand off. I predicted we'd finish a place above, I think, where we finished last year. And ultimately, it's about building slowly, isn't it? Look at Lincoln, how long they've been in League One to get out of it. That's the model we want to be following. Is getting better every year, trying to finish slightly more points or slightly higher up the league, whatever it might be. And I don't think any Stags fan should be. I've seen a few imbeciles moaning about certain things on whatever book I was, Facebook, whatever. And I don't know how you can moan. We've only ever survived once in this league in my lifetime, which was last season. So the fact that we could potentially be staring at a top half finish is pretty incredible, I think.
We're punching, aren't we? We've got a relegation
massively,
budget, essentially. So we are punching.
Look at Northampton. We can't have a bigger more budget than Northampton and Port Vale. We can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look where they've ended up. And Rotherham, I'd say Rotherham have probably got a bigger budget than we've got. And look where they've ended up. So I think for a club our size, we're doing extremely well.
Yeah, we certainly are. Plenty more to come on that on the end of season review podcast. Make sure you stay tuned for when that will be. And yes, we'll all be together. Yes, there'll be cake and there'll be a very special edition of Alan, Where's You Been? I've been told that he's ordered props. I don't know what props they are, but I've been promised props. I think we're going all out for this one. Right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to be talking about expiring contracts. We'll have a little look about Community Day, and we'll get ourselves ready to go to the awards. Protect what matters most with Actifier Limited, your trusted local fire safety experts in Nottinghamshire. Proud sponsors of the Mansfield Matters podcast. From fire extinguishers and alarms to emergency lighting, pat testing and risk assessments, they've got everything you need for your business to stay safe. Affordable, reliable, professional. Because when it comes to fire protection, there's no room for compromise. Call Actifier Limited today or visit actifier.co.uk. Be ready, be safe, act now. Actifier Limited, proud sponsors of the Mansfield Matters podcast.
We're the Mansfield Matters crew, making podcasts just for you. Some show up, some disappear, but the Stags bring us all here. Through the ups and downs we stay, talking Mansfield Town every day.
You're back with the show for the fans, by the fans. Why? Because Mansfield always matters. Before we move on to talking all things contracts then, let's talk about Community Day on Saturday at One Call Stadium, where Mansfield Town Football and the community will be encouraging fans to get behind the Bring a Pound to the Ground campaign, raising funds for the Community Trust. Supporters can donate via cash or card or with the donation buckets around the stadium. On the day, they'll be hosting a range of activities on the Astro pitch, including inflatables and games for supporters of all ages. And a member of staff is going to be taking on a fantastic fundraising challenge, cycling on a spin bike. He started on Thursday, earlier today, and will be continuing in the marquee before the game, where supporters are welcome to go on down, show their support, or maybe take to the saddle themselves. In the lead up, football and community will also be visiting a partner school, Mapplewells, on Friday for a yellow and blue day, encouraging students to wear club colours. And there'll be a special guest appearance from someone within the Mansfield Town squad as well. On Saturday, there'll also be a raffle taking place with a signed FA Cup shirt and a selection of additional prizes up for grabs. For anyone who can't attend but would still like to support, donations can be made via tinyurl.com/MTCT donate. And the link is actually on screen now, and of course in the comments for you as well. So make sure you go. That you may see on screen a little QR code. It's just above Emily's head. So yeah, just do a little point for you. They should point the other way, or the other side. That's
On
there
my
you go.
screen, it's that way.
Well, there you go. It's just above Emily's head. So if you want to scan that, if you're watching on your TV or whatever, or watching it back, get your phone out, scan that QR code, and that will take you straight to the donations page. For football in the community, who are going to be doing, sorry, not football in the community, it's what they used to be called, the Community Trust, who are going to be doing lots of great things for Community Day. They do loads of fantastic projects, and they've grown and grown and grown. Clive, I know you in the past have been to a fair few of those projects, none more so than you dabbled at walking football a few years ago, didn't you, back in the day?
Yeah, I only stopped playing through injury. It's supposed to be a fairly gentle sport, but don't you kid yourselves. The blokes who play walking football are blokes who played proper football and are still as aggressive as they were. And I found that to my peril. Someone tried to push me through the chain link fencing. I nearly came out the other side like chips. It was interesting, but it's a great game. I tell you what, it's one of the most, that and paddle are the most expanding sports at the moment in this country. And it's good that Mansfield have been pretty much at the vanguard of it.
Yeah, and one thing the Community Trust are doing a lot more of now, Emily, as well, is expanding from just footballing activities as well. So they split up their holiday clubs, so you can go and do just football camps if you want to, or you can do multi-sport activities. You can go and try paddle. You can get involved with swim as well. It's so valuable, isn't it, to have that asset on your doorstep. I know Stockport have got one as well. Every football league club has got one, but in particular, Mansfield Town's Community Trust have really grown over the last few years, and I know through Her Game too, they do a lot of support with that as well, with a lot of female only sessions.
They do the community football sessions for girls, and I think recently they were doing a day that was just for girls, for people to come over and show their skills. I've had quite a few sort of communications with them, because Rowan's been my eldest son. He's been a mascot a couple of times, and they're just fantastic. They're really good fun. All the people who work there are really, really nice. And also recently, my youngest son is neurodivergent, and at the Her Game 2 game, he was given a bag full of things for him to enjoy playing with during the game, and he really, really loved it. And he uses that bag now for his PE kit, because he's just so proud of it, and it says Mansfield Town Community Trust all over it. So yeah, they're lovely group of people, and I would support them quite happily, but I'm not there on Saturday, so.
Wow, I absolutely love it. Well, if you're not there, the link is in the description, and the QR code is on screen, so get involved with that. And Nick, as a parent as well in the local area, I know for the FA Cup game, your Mansfield Town Shorts Junior was part of the school that got the visit from a few players as well, and it's such a special thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great, and it's nice to see, because when I went to school in Kirkby, which is prime Mansfield territory, and I reckon out of 2,000 kids, there was a handful of Mansfield fans. All of my mates supported random Premier League clubs, so it's nice to see. And when I pick her up from school, sometimes there's other kids with Mansfield stuff on. The only way you'll grow Mansfield fans is by getting out there, and because a lot of people, not all parents like football, do they? Sometimes you get kids who like football and the parents don't. So it's nice that the club are getting out there and just trying to not grab kids, you can't do that anymore, but going out there and grabbing kids and grabbing their imagination.
Grabbing their attention, yeah.
Correct. Yes, don't grab anything else. Grabbing their attention and get them interested in football, and Mansfield especially. We don't want them to be Forest fans, do we? Or even worse, County fans. There's no fun in that. So that's what you want, isn't it? But the only way you'll do it is getting out there, because historically we've been a little closed club, haven't we? Where the only way you became a Mansfield fan is if your dad was or your mum was. Whereas now it's nice to see some kids go to stags who maybe their parents don't support Mansfield, but take them along because they fell in love at school or whatever. So yeah, it's good to see.
Yeah, it certainly is. Go and check out everything that they do on their website. Search for them on social media, and if you can, remember to bring £1 to the ground on Saturday as the Stags take on Luton. We'll leave that QR code on screen. Go on, Nick.
No, so me and Clive play a game where Clive plays bring his phone to the ground because he always forgets. So we play a slightly different game, don't we, Clive? Or bring your ticket to the ground.
I've now got a phone holster.
Have you? Okay, well, that's all right then. For about at least 3 out of the last 4, we get there and Clive goes, I haven't got my ticket, my phone. Oh, bloody hell. So Clive's going to play a slightly different game if that's all right.
No.
Can I just say, I'm at a funny age.
It's no wonder that the ticket office have whacked a surcharge on people forgetting the tickets, is it? When you do it every week, thinking we can make a mint out of this. Although I have to say this, Clive, there's a flaw in that plan, right? Nobody has cash anymore. It's very rare to have cash. You pay for most things on your phone. So if you've got to pay a surcharge for your replacement ticket and your credit card's on your phone, how are you actually going to get your ticket in the first place? You're going to have to leave an IOU.
He's got cash, hasn't he?
I hadn't got any cash on me either. I couldn't even buy a sausage roll.
Oh no!
Well, even no point having cash at the one call, is it? So cash the stadium.
Yeah. I mean, I normally take a couple of quid to have a go on the golden goal because that's still very much a cash environment.
Shock.
And I've won it once recently, so I'm pretty much in credit. But by the time I get into the marquee and find the SSA people, they've normally sold out because they only have 90 tickets. So I had this £2 in my pocket the other week. I gave it to the people waving buckets around. I can't remember what it was for, Macmillans or something, but childhood cancer. One of the things I'm more than happy to chuck a couple of quid into any collection box, but they wouldn't have had it if I could have bought a golden goal ticket. But I mean, the reality is, you don't need to take any money with you now to Mansfield Town. And so to try and get people to remember to bring a bit of cash because there's charitable activities taking place, it's breaking that paradigm again, isn't it? And
that's exactly why the QR code exists.
Tend to carry money around and jingle it in the pockets. I managed to wean myself off that.
Well, there you go. I do believe the Community Trust will have card machines as well. So if you want to donate on card, you can do. And you can scan that QR code near Emily's head. And if you're listening to this, the link is in the description. So please do go and do that. So and yeah, get involved with all of that. Right. Let's move on then, shall we?
Back in the holster.
Back in the holster. Yeah, put it back in the holster. Jim, let's move on then, because even us two, as the most pessimistic people on the planet, think that we're nearly safe, or we are pretty much safe. We've got the slippers out of the cupboard. We've not put them on yet, but they're out of the cupboard. They're getting ready. We need to start looking at next season as well. We've identified a little bit that we need to improve attack-wise, but before we talk about what we need sort of in terms of positionally, what we do need to talk about is those who are coming towards the end of their contract, because Nigel Clough has intimated that there'll be maybe 3 that go, 3 that don't. So what I've done is I've put together a fancy-ish graphic of who's out of contract. Now, I've probably forgot someone. Let's get that clear before I'm looking at you, Emily, before you come at me with this. I've probably spelled someone's name wrong. I don't care. The point is to visualize it and to see who's there. All right.
I just check spelling, Emily. I'm not interested in content. I'm grammatical based.
Podcast don't need to spell. Audio platform, you need to be able to speak. And to be honest, I struggle with that sometimes. Moving on, right, expiring contracts then. Stephen McLaughlin, Elliot Hewitt, Lucas Akins, Aaron Lewis, Jordan Bowery, Giorgio Mauricio, Will Evans, Dom Dwyer, Big Vic and Tyler Roberts, of course, also have omitted from this list Max Dickoff because he's currently out on loan. And of course, the loanees also expire. Joe Gardner, John Russell, George Abbott and TikTok. Jim, for you, out of those that are sort of contracted players, ignoring the loan players, so McLaughlin, Hewitt, Akins, Lewis, Bowery, Maris, Evans, Dwyer, Big Vic and Roberts, who would you be pulling into your office if you were Nigel Clough and saying, look, son, you've done us great, but it's time for you to go off to pastures new? And who would you be going, here's a pen, sign the contract?
It's probably easier after that lot. The ones I would be politely moving on. I think Dwyer is an obvious one. For me, Aaron Lewis isn't good enough at this level. And Maris, for me, I think he's run his race with us. I think the rest of them will be kept. I think they're worth some kind of deal. But those 3 for me. I think when you look at the squad from this time last year, it's now more League One relevant, whereas last year there was more League Two players, whereas this year there's less. And I think people like Aaron Lewis for me are the last sort of League Two remnants. And I think picking up on Nick's point about Wimbledon, I think that team's done. They're gone. And I think if you look at their squad, they've probably got a lot of League Two players still. And I think that's the adrenaline's gone and it's caught up with them. And that's one of the reasons they are where they are. And for me, it's just shaking out the Aaron Lewis's now. Yeah. And the rest of them, I think, the ones that I haven't named, I think are worth some kind of deal.
I think it's an important point, Clive, to talk about George Maris, because I agree with what Jim says there on Aaron Lewis. I like him as a lad. He's obviously got that long throw in, and he does give us a little bit of grit and determination sometimes, but I don't think he's consistent enough to play at League One level. There's better midfielders out there, and there's a reason that he's not getting game time, above John Russell, George Abbott when available, etc., Regan Hendry as well. George Maris, though, he played a little bit for the reserves on Tuesday, I believe it was. Jordan Barry also got a bit of time. But I can't really remember a time where Maris was consistently available over the last 2 seasons. And that's a huge worry for me. And especially in the position that he plays, there's better players at the club than him, and he's just going to get reduced to a bit part player, and he doesn't deserve that. He could probably do a decent job for somebody in League Two, so maybe time to get the number 10 shirt passed on to somebody else, Clive.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for the lad. I'd like to see him stay, but a lot depends on the medical prognosis, because, as you say, he's been unavailable for so much of the time he's been with us in the last 2 years through injury and illness. If that's behind him, I think it's probably worth sticking with him. We've stuck with other players when they've come out of bad runs of illness, of sickness and injury. But it's touch and go, and it wouldn't bother me one way or the other if he fell short of the cut. Of that panel you've got on screen, everybody's going to agree with Tumble Dwyer going, I think, because he's really not done anything. I've seen very little in Victor Adibuejo to keep him either. And if I had to pick another one, I'd go along with the thoughts around Aaron Lewis. I think, providing we can find another one to replace him, obviously a better one, then I'd be comfortable with Aaron Lewis being moved elsewhere.
On the flip side of this, Emily, there's one name in there, or maybe 2 names in there, that do sort of scream out, why have we not got you tied down to a contract yet? And I think that the main one is probably Will Evans. I know he divides opinions sometimes, but Clough rates him highly. He can play in a number of positions. Yes, his goal return needs to be perhaps a little bit better, but his energy and his enthusiasm makes up for that a little bit, and he does offer us something. I'm surprised we've not put a deal on the table yet for him.
Well, maybe we have, and it's just not been completed yet. Will Evans drives me nuts because nobody works harder on that pitch. But the return just isn't, it's just not good enough. I wouldn't be that upset if he went, I have to be honest, as long as we got a really good replacement, somebody who works hard. His first touch is dreadful. I close my eyes every time someone passes to him. I just find him, I don't know, he comes up with moments of brilliance, and he's very good at sort of pinching the ball back and working hard and pressing other players. But I just don't think he's good enough at this level. Personally, it's a very personal thing. And I agree with Clive about Adebayo as well. I've seen nothing from him. The goal that he scored at Bradford that he seemed so pleased about was just a nothing goal. It wasn't exciting. There was no skill involved. To be honest with you, I've seen very little from him, and I hope he doesn't stay. I don't want him to stay. Whereas George Maris, I would love to see George Maris stay. Same as Clive. Again, I've got a soft spot for him, and I also think that on the ball, he is one of our best players. On the ball.
It's an interesting one where we go with things like that. Nick, and I'm going to come to you, and I'm going to take a bit of a risk here because I need to refresh my screen because I can't get to some of the things that I need. So I'm going to drop off screen in just a second. So pressure's on you to keep talking and talk between the 4 of you whilst I disappear for a second.
All right, come and do that. I can waffle.
I think particularly the mentions that I want to give and the conversation that I want to have there are the long-serving ones. You know, Stephen McLaughlin, Elliot Hewitt, Lucas Akins, and Jordan Bowery, Nick, all on that list. Wish me luck, people.
I'm going to say something rather controversial here, that I don't think, other than Will Evans and Tyler Roberts, any of those players get another League One club if we release them. Not a single one of those, other than Will Evans. No one's getting Maka in League One. No one's buying Elliot Hewitt in League One. No one's going to get Jordan Bowery in League One, although I would keep Jordan. Other than Will Evans and Tyler Roberts, I don't think Maka's good enough anymore. I don't think he's consistent enough. Hewitt is not consistent enough. Aaron Lewis is not good enough. George Maris is not fit enough. Adebayo is not good enough. I genuinely think Evans would get picked up by a League One team, and I think Tyler Roberts would. I don't think a single other one of those players. I mean, Akins, I'm not sure how anyone's thinking he's still League One standard. He wasn't. He was arguably League Two standard when we got promoted. I don't think he's League One standard, and he would not in a million years get a League One club.
He wouldn't.
Years.
I disagree completely with you about Akins.
Well, Akins?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Akins,
he's not. He's nowhere near League One standard, in my opinion.
Well, that may be the
He
case.
seems to really stand up and contribute there, doesn't he? Every time he plays for him, he
I
really
think he
seems.
does.
It's
Even
dead reliable,
intangibles,
isn't
he
it?
just seems to have a really positive effect on whatever he does.
I don't think he does. I don't think turning up is a redeeming quality in League One. That's the only thing. People are always reliable, doesn't get injured. Yeah, he turns up, and that's great. We all need people who turn up, but his touch is it's atrocious. There's people who come and take penalties at half time who I think, yeah, you bring them on. This is not. His service has been brilliant over the years. He scored some vital goals. There's no one who would look at Mansfield and go, "Oh, that Akins is all right."
There's
No one would have him.
His age is
He's too old. He's like 37. What we don't. We can't rely
There's
on
not
him
a cat in
next year.
hell's chance that Clough will let him go.
Can I just pick up on that?
Oh, I know. We
Hey.
took him out of Shawshank Redemption, didn't we? He'd have airlifted him out. If they'd have kept him in, Clough would have Chinooked him out of jail. I get it, but we can't. No one looks at him and goes, "He's League One standard." I don't care what anybody says. He ain't League One standard.
Do you know what? This is the last time I have to refresh something in the middle because it just descends into chaos. Everyone talking over each other, no direction. See, I'm a pivotal part of this podcast, people. Go on, Jim. You were going to finish up on your point.
Well, the more I listen to Nick, the more I think he has got a point, being critical of these players. But Johan Clough said it's going to be 3 in, 3 out. That's worrying. I think.
I know.
That's worrying.
Wishful thinking
because
for me.
Well, for me, Nick, it's got to be at least 6 in. So remember,
there's a lot of League Two standard in there, really, when you look. I mean, they've been great servants, like you said, a lot of them, but they're just not. Then they wouldn't leave, and we'd be worried. We're not worried that anyone's going to try and poach any of them players, are we? Let's be real.
No.
Other than Roberts and Evans, no one's knocking on the door for Akins. I don't think Clough would let them. No one's knocking on the door for all the others, and that's a sign that the players aren't that great if no one else wants them.
This is the thing, though, isn't it, with Lucas Akins? Because you know what, and I get the opinion that turning up is not enough, because it's not. But on the flip side, like we saw with Uncle Stephen, he likes to have a leader in the dressing room, and he always has throughout his managerial career. And every player you talk to about Lucas Akins says the leadership qualities are just ridiculous. And then we talk about, we've struggled for goals this season. Well, actually, at the opportune moments, Lucas Akins has been the one who swung his boot at and somehow put the ball in the back of the net. And that's not a coincidence. It's so weird. But I agree. I don't think any League One team would see him as a free agent and go, we'll pick him up. I think the only League One team that might do that would be them that's going to come up from League Two, who are, going to struggle a little bit for wages. Maybe even one of those sides coming down from the
player coach should be
okay.
Well. I think for Lucas, if we're going to keep him as a squad
he'll
player,
follow the Quinn path, won't he?
I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. And I'm not being horrible against him. I just don't think for another season. I think he was very lucky to come back this season, and I just think next season might just be a little bit too much.
Don't forget, leadership's as important as any other quality. It really is.
Clive?
It is, but by that we could have Sandy Pate still there, couldn't we? By that logic, Les Robinson could still be there.
Clive is pinching here. He's on the edge of his seat. He's ready to jump down all your throats. Go on, Clive.
Can I just say that
No.
to say I don't want to be disrespectful to Lucas Akins and then accuse him of just turning up is a contradiction. the lad doesn't just turn up. He
No, of
never
course he doesn't.
he never gives short of everything he's got. He's reliable.
No, he
he's
doesn't.
fairly injury resistant. He's loyal. The club's loyal to him, has been demonstrated. Clough likes him. He trusts him. He's there next season.
I think he is, and I think the same
I
is
agree, I
probably
think he will be.
the same is probably true of Stephen McLaughlin and of Jordan Bowery. Even though Jordan Bowery's had his injury troubles this season, there's something about him which
He's good
means
enough,
Clough will
Jordan.
keep
Isn't
around.
he? I think
He
he's
is.
still good enough.
I think he's still got he's got another 2-3 seasons in him, and
both of
if
them
he
are
gets himself
versatile.
fit-
Came on again.
Yeah.
Was it against Bradford? He came on and he was great, like
Yeah.
really good. And we were just like, oh my god, he's amazing. The defending, he was doing the blocking. This is fantastic. Bring him back. But then I've not seen him since. I don't think. Has he been on since?
No, he's had a few run-outs for the reserves and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But 'cause I think he did that the other day. But I think we will see them all. But by the end of the season, and those we don't see, I think we can put the writing on the wall. I think if we've not seen somebody by the second to last game, it's probably going to mean night and goodbye time for them, isn't it? Keep your comments coming in on that and have your say on your team. We'll discuss more about that, of course, in the end of season review show. And of course, we usually do the retain list reaction as well to wrap off the series. We need to bring our attention back, though, to all things present day, because we have some updates to do in terms of a little game we like to call podcast predictions.
The game of luck, who gives up, don't mess it up. I hear you say, how do you play? Win, lose or draw, then pick a score and one more thing. Pick a hero, don't score zero, that's the game. But we're not fools, this game has rules. It gets on time, you'll be fine, remember the rhyme. Remember the rhyme. Yes, on time, you'll be fine. Remember the rhyme. The death predictions.
Podcast predictions time then. In terms of results, let's go back from the Wigan game, and only one person correctly predicted a 2-1 defeat, and that one was Simon Wilson, who picked up 21 points. The best pick of the players in that game, Lucas Akins and John Russell. So maybe Akins should stick around in terms of fancy points for next season. On to the goalless draw then at Leyton Orient. Two people predicted a 0-0 draw, and they're both on the show tonight. One of them is Nick of Mansfield Town Shirts fame. The other is Clive of Mansfield Matters Podcast fame. Only one of them, though, was the week's winner due to choice of fancy player, and that was Nick of Mansfield Town Shirts fame, choosing Dave as his
Who did I
fantasy
pick?
player.
Oh, Dave.
Dave would have got you 9 points on Tuesday. The best pick of the bunch on Tuesday, by the way, was Kyle Noyle. The overall table then looks like this. Olivia Wilson is in 5th place on 376. I'm ahead in 4th on 386. 396 in 3rd is Matt Piercy. In 2nd place, he's going for the championship because he's only 8 points shy of the lead now. Clive Parkin in 2nd and Chris Vincent in the lead at the moment with 428 points. It could all change, though, this weekend as we take on Luton and then Stockport on Tuesday night. So let's see how we get on in terms of our predictions. Jim, I'm going to start with you for Luton, please.
2-1 win. I'm going to go Sweeney.
Nick.
1-1 draw. And I am going to go with Tyler Roberts.
Clive.
1-1 draw. Dave.
Emily.
I think we're going to lose on Saturday. I'm going 2-1 loss.
Ooh, and who's your pick?
Who did I have last week? Yeah, Dave, please.
Oh, good choice. Everyone going for Dave's a solid choice. I think at this point it's about trying to play the game and trying to think about who's guaranteed to start. I'm going to say we're going to win 2-1 on Saturday against Luton. And my choice for fantasy player is going to be Lewis Reed. Stockport away, I'm going to go for a 2-1 defeat. Am I? Yeah, I am. And I'm going to go for Dave. Clive.
Stockport 2-0 win against us, so we lose 2-0, and Reed is my hero.
Nick.
3-1 defeat. Dave.
Jim.
We always seem to do all right at Stockport. I'm going to go 1-1. Tyler Roberts.
Emily, your neck of the woods.
It is my neck of the woods. I'm going for a win. I'm going for a 2-1 win. Why not? We usually do all right at Stockport, although, yeah, not the case earlier this year. Tyler Roberts.
Do you know what? I've been sitting here and I've been uncomfortable for the last 30 seconds having said defeat. So I'm now changing my prediction to a 2-1 win and Dave, because Mansfield matters and defeat's pessimistic. And like I said at the top of the show, this is optimistic, Craig. Right. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, it's awards time.
Protect what matters most with Actifire Limited.
Your trusted local fire safety experts in Nottinghamshire. Proud sponsors of the Mansfield Matters podcast. From fire extinguishers and alarms to emergency lighting, pat testing and risk assessments, they've got everything you need for your business to stay safe. Affordable, reliable, professional. Because when it comes to fire protection, there's no room for compromise. Call Actifire Limited today or visit actifire.co.uk. Be ready, be safe, act now. Actifire Limited, proud sponsors of the Mansfield Matters podcast.
We're the Mansfield Matters crew, making podcasts just for you. Some show up, some disappear, but the Stags bring us all here. Through the ups and downs we stay, talking Mansfield Town every day.
You're back with the show for the fans, by the fans. Why? Because Mansfield always matters. A reminder, if you want to play along with podcast predictions, by the way, the link that you need is in the description, as is the link to donate to Mansfield Town's Community Trust. It's, of course, Community Day on Saturday, and their Bring a Pound to the Ground campaign. The QR code remains on screen throughout if you want to get involved with that. Just give it a little bit of a scan, and away you go. Right. As we are now safe-ish, safe. Come on. Optimistic Craig is here. Come on. Have faith. Safe. It's time to do what we do every single season, and that is the Mansfield Matters Awards, aka the MMPAs, Mansfield Matters Podcast Awards. Yes, I did think of that, and people are nodding along with it. And this season, you know, we got nominated for an award ourselves. We went to an awards ceremony, so I thought it only right to take the production values up, ish, and do this. Welcome to the Mansfield Matters Podcast Awards. No trophies, no prize, no certificates, just pride. Why? Because Mansfield matters. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MMPA's nomination ceremony. My name is Craig Priest. I'm the Master of Ceremonies for this featurette. Joining me on screen, I can't keep that voice up for the next...
If these are the Umpas, are we the Umpa Lumpas?
If you like, didgeridoo, whatever. I'm not going to say. I want to sing the whole song now. I can't.
Don't.
You've done. I'm not going to do it. The four panelists on screen tonight will create the shortlist, and then we'll open it up to you guys to vote. We've got a number of different categories, and we're going to scan through them this evening for you. The way we're going to do it is every single one of us, also all five of us on screen, will put a nomination forward for each category. We'll go round in different orders, so sometimes I'll go first, other times Jim will go first, etc., etc., to try and make it as fair as possible, which is why I asked you guys earlier in the chat to think of a couple of different options. So there we go. Right, we'll start off with the usual one, and that is for your nomination for Player of the Season. And as the guest on tonight's show, Emily, back again for your 90th appearance on the show this series, your nomination is up first, please. Your Player of the Season. This is going to be a hard one, I think.
Not for me. Dave.
An excellent choice. Jim.
Liam Roberts.
Clive.
Lewis Reed.
Nick.
Well, that's the three I had written down, which is great.
That's the three I had.
I
written
luckily had a fourth, and I decided against my better judgment and his recent poor performances, but I'm going to go Rhys Oates.
And I am going to say for mine, it will come under no surprise that he's probably his biggest cheerleader. I'm going to go for the skipper, Ryan Sweeney. I think he's been important for us at times this season. So that's Player of the Season. Time now to think of Goal of the Season. And I'm going to kick us off for this one. It doesn't matter whether it's league or cup, by the way. I am going to go for Lewis Reed's goal. I think it was his first one at Sheffield United in the cup for mine.
Thank you, Craig.
Clive, I think I've just stolen your choice, haven't I?
And that's the only goal now he can remember. He can't think of any other
No,
goal.
I'm going to go for the goal against Leyton Orient, scored from the halfway line by Regan Hendry.
Ah, yes, I
Can't
forgot
doubt
about that.
Yeah.
Orient at home. Nick.
I'm going to go for Louis Reed's free kick against Burnley.
Nick.
Jim.
All right, I've got
It's
another
going
one.
to be all the way through this.
I'll go Iro's second goal against Port Vale.
His second. And Emily, can you think
Okay.
of...
I've got one left. Aiken's karate kick against Northampton.
Oh, yeah, that was a good
That was mint goal. I loved that goal. Yeah.
I had another one in reserve, Craig, as a matter of interest. If nobody's picked it, I was going to go for Rhys Oates' virtuoso goal against Sheffield United.
John Russell's was good at Donny as well. That was my other pick.
We have scored some good goals, but they're the five that we've picked. We've gone for Lewis Reed. He's in there twice. Regan Hendry, Oliver Iro, and Lucas Akins for that one. Now, this next one is a bit of a different one. Obviously, like I said in the titles, this is an awards ceremony where you get no prize, no trophy, no certificate. It's just because Mansfield matters. And this one, because Mansfield matters to us, is a moment of the season. So this is one moment from the season, on or off the pitch, that can be personal to you, that you would love to relive time and time again. Something you found funny, something that means something to you, anything like that. I would like your nominations for that, please. And you can make it as personal as possible. Clive, I'll go with you first for this one.
Yeah, it's not one I want to live over and over again, but it's locked into my psyche, and it means more to you and me and Jim than anybody else. It was a rainy day in Accrington. Never stopped raining. It was a miserable game. We left the game before the interesting bit when we scored the winners up through the penalties. We drowned rats getting back to the car, loading up, and we're very nearly, and I'll take the blame, we very nearly left Jim in Accrington. It was only because our access was blocked by a team bus that stopped us forgetting the lad. It has still been there now, bless him.
It would. It really would. I felt so bad because, we've laughed about it a number of times since, Jim, but honestly, that every time now we've all got in the car. In fact, I joke, when Clive next drove to an away game, I think it was me, Clive, and my dad, and I said to my dad, run to Clive's car because he will drive off without you. We call it doing a Jim. And that was it. But fortunately, he's not done it again. Jim, as you're left behind, I'll come to you second to your moment of the season, please.
Getting home from Accrington. No, it wasn't really.
Walking out.
Now, my moment, it's probably not everybody's one, was Macca's equalised against Barnsley in the last minute. It was just an absolutely exhilarating. I don't know why, it just was. It was just it was a really standout memory for me of the last few months, really, and it was just It was absolute limbs on, and yeah, brilliant.
I don't know what I think I've just got a new moment of the season. I think my new moment of the season is Jim saying the phrase "absolute limbs" like a 14-year-old.
I've got a 13-year-old son. Don't forget. I get all this lingo.
Emily, I'm going to come to you next.
Well, believe it or not, Jim, that was my moment of the season as well.
It's brilliant. Yeah.
Most of the reason for that was because it was also the Her Game 2 game. So I was going to say the Her Game 2 game as a whole, because leading the team out was just like amazing. I got to feel like a mascot. But I'll go for my sort of second choice, but I didn't think anybody would say that Macca's equaliser, but it was Macca's equaliser. But what I'm going to go for is when Lewis Reed scored at Burnley.
Damn it!
Oh, sorry. Well, it's only because Jim took mine.
I know.
So
That's
for
the
me,
danger of the game.
Yeah, that was kind of for me and Rowan and the people around us. We just jumped up and down for what seemed like so long, and it was so unexpected. It was just fantastic. And because we were singing "Score this, we're going on the piss," but excuse me, "Score this and we're going on the beep."
You can swear on this podcast. It's absolutely fucking fine. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Oh, great. Okay. But because we were singing that and then he scored it, it just, we just didn't think it would happen, and it was so lovely. So, yeah.
Oh God, I've got to think of another one now. I mean,
yeah,
I
might put a good one on the chat.
I might go.
Don't say that one out loud because you haven't done mine yet.
No.
Shut up, man.
Right, okay.
Stop putting stupid comments in. I haven't done mine yet.
I'm not looking at the comments at the minute. I've not got the comment section on at the minute. I've got the other stuff on, and I'm also focusing on writing stuff down. I am going to put a slight. I'm going to go down the same lines as the goal at Burnley. So I think we were all stunned. I'm going to go for. No, am I going to go for something a bit more funny? I had one written down. Go on, Nick. You go, because I can't remember what I was going to say now.
So I had a couple, but the one that I think, if we're talking about what I'd like to relive over and over again, it was the moment that Evans' shot went in against Arsenal, because I think they were seen as these. I mean, Arsenal this season have been talked up more than most teams have been talked up in God knows how long. They played God knows how many games without a team laying a glove on them. And the fact that we scored, I know we didn't go on to win, but at that particular moment, that's the moment that ball went in. I think we all thought we can beat Arsenal here. And I think for that, it was so unexpected as well. I mean, like a bit similar to the Barnsley emotion. We didn't expect that either, did we? Because you could have talked about the turnaround on Boxing Day as well, because that was some game as well.
Yes.
But yeah, I think when that hit the back of the net, because it was unexpected and because they battered everyone else in sight and little old Mansfield. So I'm going to go with that. That's mine.
Now,
I wasn't copying Matt either in the comments.
No, I have come up with one. I've still not looked at what Matt has said, so one of you can read it
Who's
out after
that?
this. Okay. All right, okay. I thought of one whilst you were talking about that, because Clive's one was obviously leaving Jim behind at Accrington, which was one of those funny moments. And we've created almost like a mini travel group, Mansfield Matters Executive Away Travel, this season. And one of the moments which I completely forgot about was actually on the way back from Everton away, when we went to the Hill Dickinson at the start of the season. That was this season, by the way. I know it doesn't seem like it seems so long ago. There was the five of us. It was me, Clive, Nick, Big Tone, and my dad. And we were telling my dad, nobody else externally will get this reference, and Emily will be looking gone out at us for this bit as well. If I said to you, Nick, the words Jordan Bowery's Pork Butchers, Bert Bowery's Pork Butchers, you know what moment I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, I do, because that was the same time that Clive was putting his hand inside my shirt, basically, wasn't it? Was that pulling at my bra straps?
Yes.
That was the same trip back, wasn't it? Because in a five-seater, I straddled both my father and my surrogate Mansfield father, Clive, all the way for how many hours we sat in that car, I don't know.
I know.
But yeah, we came up with Bert Bowery's Pork Butchers, didn't we? And then
Emily, can I just explain? He got one leg in my footwell and one leg in his dad's footwell. And at some point in the game, he says, "My leg's gone to sleep, Clive. Will you rub it for me?" So there was copious rubbing.
And then he
going
tried
on.
to adjust. I'm sure he adjusted my seatbelt, and there was all sorts of shenanigans going off. But we talked for some reason, and we don't quite know where this came from.
Oh, I
think
do.
it comes from. Well,
Clive.
yeah, we do. I'm adamant it's Clive, but Clive's adamant it's not. He said
It's
to us,
definitely
"Did you
Clive.
know? Did we know that Jordan Bowery's dad, Bert Bowery, who was Nigel Clough's first signing at Forest, I believe, something along those lines."
Brian's, but yeah, Brian.
Brian Clough, sorry. Is a pork butcher. So not only was he a butcher, Clive was very specific that he was a pork butcher, not a normal butcher. Not you couldn't go in there and ask for a beef burger. He's not doing that. But he'll do you a nice Cumberland. So we generated an image of him at the shop, and it descended into a bit of chaos. To be honest, I don't know how Craig was driving straight by the end of it. But yeah, that was the same. That was the same one as Clive was fondling with my strap, wasn't it? Because that could have gone in there as well.
Yeah, certainly.
On a more
And it's Cardiff
sensible
as well. I straddled Clive on the way back from Cardiff as well, didn't I?
You did.
This is becoming a bit of a theme for you. Go on, Clive, before I move on to the
I'm
next
going to help you
category.
out a bit, Craig, because I've got my reserve answer, which is, again, it's not quite off the field, it's not quite on the field, but it relates to your dad at Burnley. And your dad doesn't get to all the games, and he's had his health issues to deal with as well. And we'd gone to Burnley with us. And at the end of the game, when we'd managed to contrive a win against the Premiership side, he turned around and looked at me and other people, and he says, "What have I just seen?" And he'd got tears in his eyes.
Oh.
And it was a moment, and if those little moments mean more to me and the people involved in it than it does to anybody else, obviously. So it's not one that anyone else is going to get any purchase on, but it's little things like that you don't forget.
You've made me start welling up now, you bastard. 'Cause that was going to. I know that was going to be one of.
It's the random service stations we end up in. That's what I like.
I know.
The random service station when it's pitch black outside,
sharing a packet.
Eating a Twix. Or sharing a when we had that all day. Me and Clive had our first all day breakfast sandwich this year. I don't know how you didn't think of that, Clive. Why did that end up in here?
Oh,
we tried it. We had half each, and it was a new. I've never had an experience like it.
A packet of £4.87 jammy Dodgers that we shared at a service station, on the same day. But yeah, I'm glad somebody else took the Burnley one because that was because I remember watching the highlights back. I never watched Match of the Day, but we were first on and everything. And I took a screenshot, which I'll treasure forever. It's me and my dad looking at each other, literally doing what Clive's just said and going, "What have we just seen?" And to do that together is just amazing. So that would have been my main, but I am going to go for Bert Bowery's Pork Butchers because that, as much as I cry thinking about the Burnley moment and the Arsenal moment and all of that, we were streaming, laughing, crying that. And, it was gone midnight when we got home and we were just
easily
in hysterics.
It was 2 in the morning. I think it was 2 in the morning, wasn't it? When we got back from Everton, I think it was.
Just insane. Right, let's move on to game of the season then. So this one, when you are in the retirement home, just before you're about to pass through the pearly gates, you get to sit down and rewatch one game from every single season that you've been alive on your own personal Stags Flicks, aka Netflix. What game are you choosing from this season to rewatch time and time and time again, and why? And Emily, you're up first.
Oh, thank you. For me, it's FA Cup, Sheffield United.
Oh, bloody hell.
7-goal thriller.
That's
Sorry,
mine
Nick.
It's a great. To be fair, it was a great one.
Great.
I'm torn between Barnsley away because I can't remember it because I was so ill over Christmas, or I don't want to touch upon a defeat, but the Arsenal game is definitely up there as well for me. I think I am gonna go with, I'm gonna go with Burnley away because it's. To beat a Premier League side for the first time in God knows how many years, to share those moments like we've all spoke about, I think being able to sit down, rewatch that and go, and see yourself in the crowd, because you will undoubtedly, and go, actually, that means quite a lot. So I'm going to go Burnley away for mine. Nick?
I'm going to go for one that the three of us on here went to together, and it's a game that I don't think anyone will particularly remember much, but I think you had to be there to understand how mad that game was, and I'm going Bolton away.
Yes!
It was without...
Good, wasn't it?
Without doubt, one of the weirdest games I've ever been to where... I mean, we've all had one-sided games the other way around where we batter a team and we just can't score. It was madness, that game. How we ever got anything, let a draw. How we got a win, let a draw, let a win out of that game. And the whole experience of the evening of just the shock of walking out and going, have we won? Did we get 3 points for that? Because we were woeful. And remember the team he put out? There
We
was
had
players starting
kids on the bench.
you had Carl McAdam at like a left forward, like up front. I was like, what are we doing? Maka was up there. Oh, it was mental.
They'd not lost at home in a whole season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
And
your dad come back he was on holiday. He came back to see it. We were all there.
Yeah.
It was so for me. I'm going to go with Bolton away just because it was.
that's
madness.
a great choice. That is
That
a
is a
great
really
choice.
good choice.
It
I
is.
met Bailey Cargill in the car park as well. And I think because I was in the Bolton car park, he thought I was going to be a Bolton fan. And I wound down the window and I'm like, no, I'm a Mansfield fan. And he was like, oh, thanks. And he like put his head in the car and stuff. It was really nice.
Well, there you go.
Meeting players in car parks never goes anywhere.
I
I've
know.
tried that.
It does not. It does
Bailey
not.
Cargill, he is.
Clive.
Well, Bolton was going to be mine, and I thought I was
All right.
confident no one else would pick that up because it wasn't a terrific game to an outsider, but it meant
I
an awful
enjoyed
lot. But there is another one, and again, you had to be there, and I think it sums up our season in many ways, just like Bolton did in a different way, and this sits comfortably with me because it was a weekender. We went away for the weekend to watch it, and that was Exeter. We won. We deservedly won, and we had an overnighter in a very pleasant city centre.
I stayed in the same hotel as the players that weekend, thanks to Tesco Club Card points. Jim, finish us off on this category, please.
I was going to go with the Sheffield United game, but I think Emily beat me to that one. That was the obvious one, but that's gone. So I'm going to pick one I don't think anybody would have picked, just for the attritional value of how we just passed the ball around that night, which was an absolute joy, was Blackpool at home. If you want a game that you could watch again and again, just the way we popped the ball around that night was fantastic. And that, for me, was what I would enjoy watching, just how fluid we were. And it just all clicked and gelled, and that was a joy. That does stick in my mind.
Great choice.
No, said
great-
Chesterfield. That's a surprise, isn't it? I know, and I didn't go, so that's probably why it's not. If I'd have gone, I think that
I
probably
didn't
would have
go.
been there, but
Yeah, I watched it
it
on
was
the
the first
telly.
round of the Carabao. I can't remember why I didn't go. It might have been away.
I
but,
couldn't get a ticket.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, that's true. It was a bit in demand, wasn't it? But-
Fell out, wasn't it? Yeah.
Let's move on to Unsung Hero, then our penultimate category of the award. So this is an award for anybody at the club, not necessarily a player. It can be a player if you want. Anybody related to the club who you think deserves that bit of recognition which they simply don't get week in, week out. Unsung Hero Award, and we're going to start with you, Jim.
Oh, I thought it was players, but I've gone a player anyway. I think
You can do players.
Yeah, I'll go FBT, Fraser Blake Tracy. I think he's had a very steady, unsung season, very consistent. Never
Ignore
really gets.
Wigan.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Because I
generally,
like so with Wigan. I'm like, ooh.
he's played a lot of games. He's been at it most of the season. Been very consistent generally, and I think he's had a brilliant season. But never really gone under the radar. I think a lot with a lot of people. But I think for me, he's been outstanding.
Nick.
Did you see today
Go on,
someone on social media on Facebook put a picture of himself with the aforementioned three-barrel player at
Seen that.
Stanton Hill Co-op?
Yeah.
Of all
I mean,
the places,
Hey, come on!
Indeed.
I mean, that's
But he's moved to the area.
was he doing
now.
some sort of charitable event into the area? Was he?
He must have
nobody
done
moves
charity,
to
was it?
Stanton Hill.
I'm going to be honest. Yeah, like Clive says, even if you've got no money, I'd rather sleep on a park bench than live in Stanton Hill. Anyway, Nick, it's your choice for Unsung Hero of the award.
It was going to be FBT for putting up with the Stanton Hill Co-op, but it's not him. I'm going to go with. And now I thought nobody rated this player particularly much this season, and then Craig picked him as player of the season, so I might be wrong.
Just a caveat: it doesn't have to be a player. You don't have.
No,
to
I know
pick a
that. I
player.
did have a thing, and I think the last couple of years I went for staff, but I'm going to go for Ryan Sweeney because he got some stick, and I think by the first couple of months, a lot of people were saying we shouldn't have signed him. Why did we bring him back? He's no good. He's this, he's that. He can't play the 5. He can't play the 4. He can't pass. He can't head. He's rubbish. Get rid of him. He was rubbish the first time. All this ramble that you hear. And I don't think any of us really on here were massively down on that, albeit a few of us, I think, thought it was a bit of a mistake. I thought since then, he's been a rock, and we look a lot better for having him in the back, be it a 4 or a 5. I think, provided he's on the left-hand side, for me, he's been a bit of an unsung hero. And I think we only notice how well he is doing when he's not there, and you look around and you go, we don't look very strong at the back today, and you realise it's because Sweeney's not playing. So that's my reasoning.
Emily?
Well, I'm not going for a player or anyone employed by the club. Mine's a little bit personal. I'm going for Keely Clough, who is the ambassador for her game too. She does so much work behind the scenes, and she doesn't take the credit for it. She's not, she doesn't showcase herself anywhere near as much as she could do. She's absolutely fantastic. She also is a super fan and travels to loads of the away games, more than I do, and I do quite a lot of away games, but she does more than I do. She travels everywhere, watching the Stags with her daughter, and she's just an absolute superstar and an all-round nice person. So for me, it was her because of all the work she puts in.
Clive?
Well, I was going to pick an easy one. I was going to say Alan Wilson because he's been there forever. But we're always singing his praises, quite rightly too. So I've not gone with Alan. But we mentioned earlier about some of the advances made by the Mansfield Community Trust. And compared to its predecessor organisation, it's moved forward in bounds. And I think a lot of that's down to the people. And the person I see most actively promoting and developing that is Alex Cartwright. So he's my unsung hero.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he's done some stuff at my daughter's school as well, and I think it's much appreciated. I think he does a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. Top lad as well, really top lad. Known him from when I used to work there many years ago, and he does work superbly hard. Usually I would go for someone like Alan, or, my usual pick is Andy Garner because of, oh my God, and everything along those lines. But this year, I don't think we need to go into details as to why. If you know, you know. 2 words, Lucas Akins for my unsung hero. If you know, you know. Right, let's move on to the final category. We've lost Jim. He might be back. If he isn't, he isn't. Our final category in the MPAs this year is a new award, and it's the Growth Award. So this is for somebody who, at the start of the season, you thought, oh, no, he's going to be rubbish. He's going to turn out to be one of the worst signings ever and all of that sort of stuff. And now at the end of the season, they've made you eat a massive dollop of humble pie. Clive, I'm going to put you first for this one.
We've not seen enough of him, but I've seen enough of him to show that he's far better player than we gave him credit for at the start of the season, and that's little Nobby Welsh.
I knew it. I wrote little knob as well. I had a little knob written down. Good job I carried on written down there. This is a difficult one, but I think it's someone who not necessarily didn't start that well, but I think people are reasonably underwhelmed and weren't quite sure. But I think John Russell has done a lot better and been a lot more pivotal than I thought a lot of people thought he might be. And I think we're a lot worse off without John Russell playing. I know he hasn't played the whole season. I understand that. But I think he's grown a lot, and I quite rate him highly, so I'm going to go John Russell.
Jim, we're doing Growth Award at the minute. It's your turn for nomination. So this is somebody who, at the start of the season, you thought, rubbish, we shouldn't have signed him, no point in them being here, and now has made you eat a massive dollop of humble pie. Who's your nomination for?
It's someone I'd written off last summer, and he's absolutely made me eat my words, is Rhys Oates. I think he's absolutely come good and proved why we've stuck by him and showed faith in him. And absolutely, Rhys Oates. And in some ways, it makes me think perhaps that's how we should see George Maris. But for this season, Rhys Oates, yeah.
My nomination is going to go to the captain, Ryan Sweeney, not because I thought he was rubbish at the start of the season. I've been championing him since the day that we signed him, but I think he's proved a lot of people wrong, and he's certainly, since he's come back in January time, has earned the right to be captain of this football club and really showcases what he can do. So I'm going to go for Ryan Sweeney. Emily, last but by no means least.
Well, I had Nobby Welsh, but he was my second choice. So mine might surprise you a little bit, but last season I slagged off Lewis Reed, something chronic. I was like, you are rubbish. I don't want you anymore. You're League 2 standard, blah, blah, blah. And this year he's just literally made me eat my words. He's been amazing, and I'm now like loving him. So there you go.
Well, there you go. There will be other categories as well, but that is the categories in terms of nominations. We'll put the link out on social media tomorrow for you to be able to vote on that on our shortlist. You'll also be able to do a few funnier ones as well. A little bit of self-ego inflating ones for us as podcasters, podcaster of the season, feature of the season, and then leave us a little bit of feedback as well. That concludes the nomination show for the Emperors. Welcome to the Mansfield Matters Podcast Awards. No trophies, no prize, no certificates, just pride. Why? Because Mansfield matters. Usually at this point, having been on air for 95 minutes, I would say that's enough tonight. However, Jim's been desperate to find out what the Oz One Out is for the last 90 minutes. So much so, in the middle of that last link, he legged it to get a phone charger to make sure that he could stay on air with us tonight. And Emily has given up her wedding anniversary tonight to be with us on the podcast. So it's only fair, and to be honest, she's been demanding to play it ever since she was on last week, and I asked her to be on again, that we play the feature because she loves the jingle. So we're moving into extra time for a quick game of this. Oz One Out. Unofficially endorsed by Uncle Stephen. Right, Emily has got for us 3 starting 11s from random games over the history of Mansfield Town Football Club. She's going to read out those starting 11s, and all we have to do is guess the Oz One Out, aka the odd one out. Jim, do you get the concept?
The odd one out? Not really, no.
You'll pick it up as we go along.
Right.
Emily, it's over to you.
Okay, game number 1 is Mansfield versus Salford City on the 11th of December 2021. This was a 2-1 win at home. The attendance was 4,113, 73 Salford fans included in that. And the lineup was, well, apart from one, the lineup was Bishop, Rawson, Hawkins, Hewitt, Bowery, Lapsley, Hartigan, Maris, Quinn, McLaughlin and Oates. Doesn't sound too dissimilar to our lineups these days, does it, really? Okay, so I'm going to go Nick first.
Quinn.
Okay, Craig.
The traffic cone that is Farron Rawson.
Okay. Jim.
Sorry, what date was the game, Emily?
11th of December 2021.
Oh, I'll go Hewitt.
Okay, Clive.
I was going to say Hewitt, so I'll go with Oates.
I think Craig's right, I think.
None of you are right.
What? What was Big Fan still playing then?
No, Anthony Hartigan didn't join Mansfield until August 2022.
I mean, we should have said Hartigan anyway, because he barely played.
He didn't play. I know. I thought that.
Yeah.
It's a dreadful game, this.
He only
Dreadful.
made 20 appearances before joining Barnet on loan in 2023.
Well, there you go.
Specialist.
Jim, do
I
you now get the
researched my odd
concept?
one out very carefully, you know.
Yeah, name the player who didn't start.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Emily, round 2, please.
Okay. Number 2, Mansfield versus Lincoln City. It was a 2-1 win in the FA Cup second round on the 12th of December 2012.
Oh, this is Craig's era.
The attendance was 5,304. The lineup is Marriott, Beavers, Geohagen, Dempster, Thompson, Howell, Clements, Clucas, Briscoe, Green, Hutchinson. And I'm going to start with Clive.
Clucas.
Okay. Jim.
Dempster.
Craig.
Clucas.
Nick.
Clucas.
Okay, well, you all did really well on that one because the answer is Clucas. Sam Clucas, and the person who should have been in that place was Lyndon Meikle. Yeah, because Clucas didn't join Mansfield until 2013, where he made 43 appearances for the Stags before joining Chesterfield.
Oh, don't say that name.
So,
and by the way, the one in the first one that should have been there was Ryan Stirk, who was on loan from Birmingham.
there you go.
Sturkey.
Nick, Clive and I have all got one right. Jim's not got any right. Let's go double points for the win then for the final round.
Okay. So this is Brighton versus Mansfield. As you know, I quite like my FA Cup games. FA Cup third round, 5th of January 2008. Mansfield won 2-1 and the attendance was 5,857. And your lineup is, and if you can hear dogs in the background, I'm really sorry. My husband's just come home from basketball, so the dogs are going wild. Okay. Muggleton, Mullins, Jellyman, Buxton, O'Hare, Hamshaw, Dawson, Brown, Martin, Arnold, and Holmes. Okay, I'm going to go Craig first because he's looking very enthusiastic.
You go me last if you want, because I definitely know it.
All right, okay, Jim, you can go first.
Morton.
Nick,
O'Hare.
Clive,
Hamshaw.
It's Alan
Craig.
O'Hare. Didn't join us until we were in the conference first
Conference,
season. We got
wasn't he?
relegated.
He was a conference boy, wasn't he?
He was
Yeah.
a conference boy.
So, yeah, the terrible season where Mansfield were relegated to the conference. O'Hare didn't join Mansfield until July 2008.
Do we need to decide, Craig, for the winner? Because we're on level points. So who's the replacement?
Ooh. Do you
Oh.
know what? I have got a spare one from last. Oh yes, who's the replacement? Yeah, who should have been in that?
Can you just run through-
run through the team again.
Run through
Want
the
to
team
run
again.
through again?
Yeah.
Muggleton, Mullins, Jellyman, Buxton, O'Hare, Hamshaw, Dawson, Brown, Martin, Arnold, and Holmes. And I've got first names.
Do we need to say it at the same time? Otherwise, it's a bit.
We go 1, 2, 3, and then say it.
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Gush
Baptiste.
Ulenbeek.
So I didn't hear either of those.
Baptiste and Ulenbeek. I went for Baptiste. He went for Ulenbeek. Because I thought it had to be a centre
Neither of
back.
those.
Damn it.
Oh,
You're gonna have to guess again now.
Oh, God.
oh
We'll be here
dear.
forever. It's the
We will
centre
be here
back,
forever.
got to be, hasn't it? Because Mullins was right back. Jenner
All right.
was left back.
Well, let's
Probably
say
centre back,
how
isn't
many appearances did I'll tell you in a minute who that was, but how many appearances did O'Hare make, and whoever's closer to the amount before he left to join York City in 2009?
28.
I will go.
I know I've
for
done my disadvantage by going first there, but 28.
I'll go 32.
Well, Nick is the winner then because he made 25 appearances.
It's in there.
Well done, Nick.
Third player
Oz one out.
was
Winner.
Jonathan De.
Oh, JD, Jonathan Delaye.
Yeah,
He got
yeah.
injured, didn't he? Because then he missed the
Yeah.
Newcastle game.
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
Yeah.
that was another successful round of. Unofficially endorsed by Uncle Stephen. That is all we've got time for tonight. My thanks to Jim, to Clive, to Emily, to Nick. Don't forget to get involved with Community Day on Saturday at One Call Stadium. I'm going to press go because we're 15 minutes into the Apprentice final, and I know I'm going to get told off if I'm not downstairs in 2 minutes' time. Bye! Sadly, that's all we've got time for on tonight's Mansfield Matters podcast. My thanks, as ever, to the Mansfield Matters podcast panel, and of course to you guys at home for watching and for listening. So we're nearly safe then in Sky Bet League One, but the podcast predictions game continues right the way to the end. The link that you need to play along is in the description. It's the trophy finalists. Winners Luton first, losers Stockport next. You know what to do. 90 minutes before kickoff, don't pick the same player twice. You should know the rules by now. Talking of clicking the links in the description, we will sort the voting thing out tomorrow. That's Friday. So stay tuned to our social media to find out when you'll be able to vote for all of those end of season awards. And of course, to find out when we're next going to be live. Spoiler alert, next Thursday, 7:30. Come and join us when the Stags, fingers crossed, touch wood, horseshoes, all of those lucky charms should be mathematically safe for another season in Sky Bet League One. See you next week. Protect what matters most with Actifire Limited, your trusted local fire safety experts in Nottinghamshire. Proud sponsors of the Mansfield Matters podcast. From fire extinguishers and alarms to emergency lighting, pat testing and risk assessments, they've got everything you need for your business to stay safe. Affordable, reliable, professional. Because when it comes to fire protection, there's no room for compromise. Call Actifire Limited today or visit actifire.co.uk. Be ready, be safe, act now. Actifire Limited, proud sponsors of the Mansfield Matters podcast.